All right, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Ben 10. We are now jumping into episode 4, and it seems like the stakes are getting that much higher with what was revealed in the first couple episodes about Grandpa Max, and we're seeing a lot of what was building in season 1 continue to play out here in season 2. The last episode that we saw, episode 3, was epic. I wasn't a big fan of the Kevin 11 episode, you know, back in season 1 when we watched it, but going back after seeing episode 3 when Kevin comes back and is now framing Ben still and now has his powers, absolutely insane. I now have a new appreciation for episode 7. It was actually pretty epic, and seeing Ben go toe-to-toe with Kevin, we knew that this was going to happen eventually. It very much felt like they were teasing that back in season 1, but I didn't think the third episode we would get the return of Kevin. And so ultimately that was easily one of my favorite episodes of the season. Absolutely insane. And to everybody that has watched that video and checked it out with me, thank you so much for sharing your hype and your excitement for the return of Kevin in this episode. I was definitely feeling the hype, definitely looking forward to seeing hopefully another confrontation between Ben and Kevin in the future. It doesn't seem like Kevin's going to be a character that's easily gotten rid of, so I'm excited to see him return. Now, what will we see in this episode? I have no idea. I feel like, you know, obviously we know that Vilgax is still out there, potentially still going to return, and now Kevin's out there. There's a lot of enemies that Ben and the group are amassing. Now, what features and what foes, I guess I should say, will they be encountering in episode 4? That's what we're going to find out. Before we get into that, guys, if you're seeing this over on YouTube and you want to support the content, one great free way to do so is by dropping a like on this video. Super easy. Comment down below what your favorite episode of season 2 has been so far in the episodes that we've seen. You know what? You don't even have to say it. I already know. Episode 3 is definitely the best. But here's hoping that episode 4 potentially takes the cake and elevates things to a new level. So we're going to see. Without further ado, guys, I hope you brought the popcorn as we jump into season 2, episode 4 of Ben 10. And of course, tragedy strikes because the group just can't seem to catch a break. You know what I mean?
Gwen, run!
Like, Ben, where are you?
It won't start.
When are these losers ever gonna learn?
Dummy!
Wait, where's his watch? No, this has got to be a dream, right? This has got to be a dream. Okay, this is definitely a dream. Ain't no way.
Forearms like icy. Hey, where's the watch?
Everybody's life is a story.
What the heck?
It's the bad, the funny, and sometimes the very, very scary. And
You can't get away with this, Vilgax.
who one day found himself living a life that seemed to catch him by surprise.
What the heck is happening, dude? I'm very interested, though.
This is so not happening.
Did that man just have a random rod in his back pocket? What the heck? Meanwhile, Ben was in trouble. Yo, Grandpa is a quick thinker.
Look out!
I take back every negative thing I said about him. The man knows what he's doing. He hit him so hard, money came out of his brain.
Grandpa, where's the watch?
What watch?
Wait, what? I love in shows like this, the cops always show up right after.
He's been doing that all summer. Way did the watch just slip off my wrist?
Gwen 10.
What are you talking about?
Oh my god, is this some alternate universe?
I'll help you look for it. So, what's it look like?
Look like.
It's an Omnitrix.
Thing? Maybe you have heat stroke or something.
I'm fine. I've been fine all summer.
Nah, dude, something's sus.
This is our first day together.
That's impossible. We've been on the road for weeks.
He's like, I've suffered with you for months.
Bad guy butt. I've gone hero like 1,000 times.
1001.
Just 2 hours ago.
No way! 2 weeks ago we were on Mount Rushmore kicking Vilgax's butt.
Yeah, do you not? Okay. He's like, how do you know that name?
Yeah. Just dodged a skunk on the road.
So who is this vile guy?
He's the destroyer of worlds, and he's been chasing Ben for weeks. Or something like that.
Destroyed, and the Omnitrix in my possession.
Oh my gosh, dude, is this an alternate reality in which Gwen gets the Omnitrix?
Prepare to board. Omnitrix now.
Because that would actually be insane.
They initiated self-destruction mode.
What the heck? Dude, every time I see Vilgax, he just doesn't look like a threatening villain to me. And then we saw him fight, and I was wrong.
One controls the Omnitrix but me.
He looks like an octopus or the Kraken from, you know, Pirates of the Caribbean.
That's an interesting story, Ben. But you sure you're not confusing this Vilgax with some sci-fi movie you saw?
He's like, Grandpa, stop lying.
He's real. You gotta believe me.
Oh, yeah, like when we had to believe you when you saw Bigfoot at our family picnic?
Okay, that was a simple shave his back here.
Yeah, very common mistake.
Ah, it's beautiful, Grandpa.
I knew you'd like it.
That's why you brought us here the first night of our trip.
Oh, boy.
Because you knew. Imagine if Grandpa knew that that's where the Omnitrix would drop. I don't see how he could know that, but...
Everything will be back to normal.
You? Normal? Yeah, right.
maybe that's...
If you'll excuse me, I'm headed back to the real world.
Now, I wonder if this has something to do with an alien.
You took Vilgax out with some super high-tech weapon thing.
Weapon? Ben, why don't you help me set up the tent?
He's like, how do you know this?
We're short one steak. Must be in the back of the RV. Be right back.
Nah, this was definitely intentional.
Pa, I knew it.
Dude, something really fishy is going on.
The watch should be right down.
What the heck?
I found it.
No, I found it first.
Well, it's way too big for you, shrimp.
He's like, give me that arm right now.
Thing in the universe. Now hand it over.
Only if you say please.
Wow.
Actually, pretty please.
Pretty please.
Well, Ben, you should know it doesn't work that way.
Only a trained pro like me can control it.
You, a trained pro? More like a trained seal.
Damn. Ben, don't let her talk to you like that.
Whoa. But I don't feel like it.
'Cause you're
We've been over this already.
fire. Fireballs. Fire breath.
That sounds fun.
And then they start the fire in the forest.
Only an idiot would set the forest on fire. Now out of my way.
Damn, Ben is actually getting called out.
It took me like a month to learn how to do that with Heat Blast.
Hey, when you've got it, and it looks like I've got this down.
Wow. Dude, this is an interesting episode. This is, you know what this is giving me the vibes of? It's like Lucky Girl, which I think was episode 10. Absolutely set your girl up.
Down now.
And suddenly, tragedy strikes.
The drone.
Holy hell.
We gotta go.
So this is literally episode 1 replaying out. That's kind of interesting. Oh my gosh. The Omnitrix. Damn, Ben's out here just giving away people's identity. It's a secret for a reason.
Ben, what's going on?
That. I'm trying to figure out when they'll reveal that this is all a dream Ben's having.
Forgot. That didn't work when I tried it either.
Things that would have been nice to know, Ben.
Dice it, Gwen!
There we go. Well, kind of.
Whatever she is.
But I'm the hero!
No, you're in danger. Help me get everyone out of here.
Grandpa, you really aren't understanding Ben's level of aptitude in these kind of situations. The kid's a trained pro.
Run!
There we go.
Oh, she's good.
So was I.
He's like, Grandpa, you're not hearing me right now. Come on, Gwen. I mean, when you think about it, Ben's actually taken quite a few beatings in his time.
Of course.
There we go.
We're of refraction.
Now you're getting it.
Let's go, ugly. Hit me with your best shot.
I love that song. No, this.
Comes around, goes around.
Oh my God.
All right.
I don't even think Ben could do that.
That's my granddaughter.
Wait, Grandpa, why would you say that?
My drones are all destroyed.
They really don't seem to value secret identities in this show.
Me.
Wait, is this a dream?
I was a high-tech alien and merged with... And then I turned into this water creature to catch us some lunch?
Nice.
Omnitrix is a complicated piece of alien technology. It's not about having fun.
Yeah, complicated for you.
Follow me, unless you're afraid.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Gwen was able to transform multiple times in a row.
Lucky they.
Just because she's just better. Wow. I don't want to be playing against her. Damn, dude, they're basically covering the entirety of season 1 in one episode.
That was a tough spare.
I'm not mad about the bowling.
So what are you mad at?
That I'll never have the watch again, or that you're better with it than I was.
Yeah, I guess I never thought about how this episode might be affecting Ben. You know,
That's not a big bowling ball.
I always had a feeling Gwen would be naturally talented. Oh, he's here early. Your boy's here early. They skipped about 12 episodes to get to this point.
Who should I become?
It's gotta recharge.
Ugh, no fair.
No kidding.
Like, come on, Gwen. What did you expect? Wow. Your boy showed up quick. Come on, Ben. Forearms could barely take him. What did you think was gonna happen?
Can't remove it here, but that should stop it from activating for a while. Hurt? No.
He said, nah.
I have something much worse in mind for you.
Nah, don't worry. You won't feel a thing. And no one sees this giant bowling ball just rolling out down the street.
Here. And he wants the Omnitrix, so he took Gwen.
Oh, so you do know exactly what's going on, Grandpa.
Dash intergalactic monitoring.
Imagine that.
Then I realized you knew way too much.
Yeah.
Why'd all that?
Ain't no way he could be lying about this.
Wasn't really the answer I was hoping for, Grandpa.
So since you've lived all this before, what's Vilgax gonna do to Gwen?
He's gonna get his hands on that Omnitrix. He's like, Grandpa, you might want to turn the jets on.
And what fun would that be? Trust me.
Your boy said, I'm here for the torture.
Won't hurt a bit.
The torture.
Prepare for takeoff.
So,
Well, this isn't good.
well, if we survived once,
No, I really want to know what is happening this episode.
may come in handy.
My theory is that this is all still a dream, but I'm also, you know, at the same time, not sure at all.
You sure we can't work out a deal?
You know what's crazy? Even if they took the arm, I feel like they still wouldn't be able to get the Omnitrix off of Gwen's, you know, disheveled arm.
Grandpa?
Claws off my granddaughter, Vilgax.
Let's go. I love that line. I love that line. Absolutely. Look at Grandpa absolutely throwing it down.
You'll never destroy me.
Holy moly. There we go. There we go, Ben.
Whoa. Think I can get one of these, Grandpa?
Grandpa's like, absolutely not. This is one of those episodes that is entirely confusing. Like, I have no idea. I have no idea what we're watching right now. And then, of course, it goes to Grandpa.
No! Oh, man. We're going hero again.
You ask me. You just did. As Ben.
This episode is one giant bait. They refuse to let my boy Ben be happy.
Not if I can help. Grandpa.
And you hate to see it.
Now what?
Time to add a few extra options to the RV.
Dude, imagine if Grandpa actually ended up getting his hands on the Omnitrix, like IRL. I know this is a dream. You can't confuse me otherwise, but that would be pretty insane.
I don't think so.
He said, run those hands, Vilgax. You're out of here, brother. Damn. Nah, that was actually kind of nasty. I didn't know Ben had it in him. Honestly, with Ben, with Max having a beef with Vilgax, I feel like that would actually be the perfect scenario. Would we see them kind of go toe to toe?
So many ways to tell a story, and that's what makes them so. Sometimes you can never predict how they're going to turn out.
Interesting. All right, guys. Well, there you have it. Another episode of Ben 10. Now, I don't want to call this one a filler, even though it, by all intents and purposes, it was, you know, without a doubt, hands down, it was a filler. However, I will say that this episode at its core was a fun one. It was fun. You know, again, one of my favorite episodes of season 1 was, I believe, episode 10 titled Lucky Girl, an episode in which we see Gwen actually be able to step into the fray and help Ben out in a fight. And this episode, in many ways, was very similar to that. We see Uncle Max get his hands on the Omnitrix. We see Gwen get her hands on the Omnitrix, and it actually ends up being a really useful. But we also learn a valuable lesson about Ben, whether or not this was a dream or really just a filler retelling of the classic tales of Ben 10, potential what if spinoff of what if these other characters, you know, got the powers, what if Ben never got his hands on the Omnitrix. You know, I still think that it was a really fun way to tell the possibilities without potentially having them affect the narrative or the story. You know, while they definitely could have made this an episode that was just like, you know, Ben dreaming, which was my theory the entire time, you know, it was still cool to see a different kind of format for an episode that highlighted some other characters being useful in ways that we're not familiar with seeing them. So all in all, when it comes down to it, this was a phenomenal episode. I really enjoyed it. I'm not the biggest fan of fillers, and I'm really hoping that episode, you know, coming off the heels of episode 1, 2, and 3, I feel like all of those episodes did a really great job of progressing the story in some kind of meaningful way. And I'm hoping that even though episode 4 was more or less, by all intents and purposes, a filler, I'm hoping episode 5 is able to progress the story in some way, and we get to see kind of the, you know, go back to the days of seeing the story progress. But you guys have had high hopes for season 2. You've told me that this is a great season, even better than season 1, and so far I'm definitely seeing that. So I'm excited to see what happens in episode 5 and all the rest of the season. So without further ado, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, you're seeing this over on YouTube, a great free way to help support the channel is obviously by dropping a like on it, commenting down below what your thoughts are of episode 4. And of course, subscribing if you want to see more reactions from shows like Ben 10, Young Justice, and so many other shows that we're watching right now. And of course, if you want to see the full uncut version of this episode, you already know what to do. A link to my Patreon will be listed down below. We'd love to have you over there as well. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.